Hello dears, and welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. Welcome back to the latest Benidorm news update. We have a lot to talk about, so make sure you stay tuned up until the end. First of all, we'll be talking about the situation in tourism. We will be talking about the big fire that happened right next to Benidorm's highway speedway just a day or two ago, and interesting information that a lot of mass media were putting out there online, frightening people absolutely, which is not actually true. We'll be talking about a person that was arrested here in Benidorm, which has been looked since 2019 and is supposed to be a member of one of the criminal organizations that deals with RISM. Okay, I'm not going to say the whole word because it might be banned. YouTube doesn't like these words, so you know what I mean. One of the criminal organizations, and she was arrested finally. And once again, people choose Benidorm town. I don't know why, but this is what's happening. And the last news will be about Benidorm trees that receive a cocktail of vitamins. Why it is happening, you're about to find out. First of all, let's talk about the situation in tourism. And as you all know, we're heading full speed towards the end of calendar summer. Just 2 weeks more or less are left, and we are in September already. Time simply flies. And while we still have quite a lot of people here in Benidorm and surrounding area, you all know that this time of the year is particularly busy. There's still a lot of tourists, even though the occupancy is not as high as it was last year, but still, we cannot say it's not been a busy season, and now it definitely is. The beach area is full, all the excursions, boat trips, different types of events, concerts, everything is busy, and also the theme parks. If you go on midday or especially on weekend, you will find quite a lot of people and some long waits, for example, in water parks, which is bizarre, but this is what the peak season usually has. There has been one of the bad news that we did see in mass media, we did see in social media, and we did see a lot of newspapers, international newspapers, pick up this news and say that, oh my God, tourists are burning in Benidorm. Oh my God, tourists are trapped in Benidorm town. This is a massive disaster. There is a huge fire that's gonna just end with Benidorm, you know. Obviously, I can understand when people are from the outside, they don't see what's going on. You know, people might be frightened, might be thinking, oh my God, I'm going there on holidays. What's going to be with this city when I'll be there? But this was a big fire. It was quite a serious fire, I must say, but it wasn't in Benidorm town. It was outside Benidorm, right around the highway AP7 with the exit of Benidorm Levante. And we've seen this area today. Once everything is over, everything's finished, luckily, without any kind of victims. We've seen the area and it does look quite bad. There were more than 50 firemen, that were helping out to extinguish the fire, and eventually they were able to do so. Even surrounding areas like Terra Natura as well was evacuated for precaution reasons, due to precaution, just in case if they wouldn't be able to control the fire eventually, but they were able to. So now everything's fine. No parts of the city was affected. You know, it wasn't something, it's true that the AP7 was cut for some time because the fire was just rounded, but all the rest is perfectly fine. This is something that is happening periodically. You know, some parts of Valencian community or any other parts in Spain are burning because someone left something, you know, a glass or something shiny. It's very dry. We have drought in our region, even though it's not extreme one, but still there is. Thus, things are way drier than they should be. The trees, the plants, you know, the grass, all the dry leaves and the soil too. So if something catches fire, it's way easier for it to just navigate and spread without a control. But this is what happened. Newspapers were telling it's like the end. It's very, very bad. It was bad, not gonna lie, but it's not something so worrying that people were affected or people were trapped or anything like this. Another tourism related news that I wanted to share with you all is about mobility scooters. And once again, we always tell it to you guys, but mobility scooters are not a joke. Okay, we see every now and then people that might be older than the required age to use a mobility scooter as a mobility help. But these people obviously do not have any kind of mobility issues. They just match the age, so they take it, but they don't actually like need it, you know, for mobility. And we do see a lot of these people going with their grandchildren, with children, just on these mobility scooters and having some fun. Well, a lot of the times fun can end up pretty badly. This wasn't the case that we'll be talking on right now, and I hope this man is okay. But it just shows you on how unpredictable mobility scooters can be, on what might happen if you're not careful and if you do not know how to manage these machines well. Mobility scooters, a British tourist, 83 years old, was using mobility scooters at one of the areas here in Benidorm, the area where you have the approximate distance of around 5 meters from one road to the other level. And he fell down from more than 5 meters height with the mobility scooter. What happened is that he obviously got rescued with SAMU. He got rescued with the emergency, and they brought him in a very bad state towards the hospital. He lost consciousness because he hit his head when he fell down, probably with the rocks or with the same mobility scooter, not sure. But the thing is that he was really seriously injured and is in the hospital now. We do not have any kind of information about it anymore. So if someone's missing someone 83 years old who went on holidays to Benidorm, rented out a mobility scooter, and you don't know nothing about him, or you know someone who might know something, let them know in case they still don't know what happened, because a lot of people come here, they do not talk with their relatives so often, you know, and it's so sudden that people just don't know that maybe someone went missing or someone is in the hospital in a bad state. So hopefully he's gonna be all right, and we are not saying it was his fault. What we are saying is that even if it's not your fault, things like these might happen with mobility scooters. You know, a lot of the times it's something that you're not used to have. You might lose control of it. It might be going faster or slower, you know, so that you're not used to it. You know, you might not be able to stop it or press brake on time. There might be a lot of things happening with mobility scooters. So please be very careful when you rent one on your holidays, not only in Benidorm, but since it's a paradise for mobility scooters, we feel that it's our duty to just let you know what is going on, so that you would be slightly more cautious whenever you're renting one of these vehicles, because they're not as total 100% safe as they might look like, because they're small, you know, they don't go by typical roads usually. They don't have such a high speed either. They're used for mobility issues, but as history shows, it's not the first time things like these happened. And last time when something like this happened, it actually caused 2 deaths of grandmother and grandfather, a small child who was with them. So it is very sad. Be careful when you use these things, please. And now let's head to the other 2 news that we have prepared for you today. One of them is about a fugitive, a future prisoner who was arrested in Benidorm town. Once again, there is something about Benidorm that people just feel like, I'm just gonna go there, I'm just gonna hide there, no one's gonna find me. Maybe because it's so international, maybe because there's so many hotels, there's so many people who, like, a lot of non-residents, a lot of tourists. So kind of if you see like a foreign face, it doesn't ring a bell, you know. It's just probably a tourist. It's someone who came here for holidays, you know, and if you stay in a hotel. But this time it was different once again. This lady is being searched and was being searched for an international crime of terrorism, okay? And she's been searched since 2019. It's supposed to be, she has 49 years old, by the way, not so old at all, middle-aged woman. And she was seen in a hotel of Benidorm, and that's where she was arrested. Why? Because Benidorm and a lot of hotels in general worldwide, they should be sending your passport details to national police. At least that's how it works in Spain. And when you send the records to national police, obviously they check the database, and sometimes they might just present themselves in the hotel early in the morning to say, okay, we need to go to this room because we need to arrest that person. Doesn't really happen very often though, I must say, but sometimes it does, and this was the case. This lady will go to prison at least for 6 years and 3 months. Right now she will be sent to Turkey back again, which is the country that was looking for her eventually for all the crimes, for everything that she's done. And she was in Bulgaria and in Greece, where she received a military she went into military, she went into specific studies to learn how to use weapons, etc., and politics as well. And after that she had to go to Syria. So you can imagine what might have happened, and we're lucky that she got caught here in Benidorm and that nothing bad happened here in Benidorm town. So all of this is being monitored completely by the national police, by international Interpol as well. We're just lucky to see that everything, all the systems are working quite well, because all of these people eventually are arrested here in town. So much of a holiday, isn't it? And now let's talk about the last news, the curious news that trees in Benidorm are receiving vitamin cocktails. This is something unusual, but quite expected, I must say, right now. Remember a few news updates ago, we were telling you that Benidorm Town Hall was checking on the century-old trees, the bigger trees that are suffering a lot of the drought right now. Since they do not have these cables, they do not have these like plastic pipes, like gum pipes, to be able to receive water regularly. They live from what the sky gives them, basically. And since there has not been so much of a rain recently, there was, but it's just rain that comes and goes in like 10-15 minutes time. It's a lot of it, but it's too short of period of time, and it just doesn't do anything barely at all. So what happens is that the town hall has prepared a special cocktail, and you might be able to see it in different parts of Benidorm these following days and yesterday. And the town hall workers, those who are putting water for a lot of trees, a lot of plants and flowers here in Benidorm, you might see them putting on some special cocktail for the roots and the soil around the trees. This has a lot of vitamins, a lot of nutrients that are needed for these trees to get stronger, so that they wouldn't break as it is in these difficult times, in the hottest, driest months of the year. And I do feel that's a great idea. I didn't see any town halls except for Benidorm doing it right now, at least, or it's not in the news so far. I know in Alicante there's another tree that broke recently, and the town hall is looking into it too, but I did not hear they were doing any kind of precautions or any kind of safety requirements or special safety measures. So Benidorm once again is doing an incredible job, and hopefully all the trees will be nice, strong right now, so that we wouldn't need to worry about it any longer. But you can definitely see that the town hall cares about the safety of those who are walking down its streets. And now let's have a short walk, and we'll let you know what the weather will be like for the upcoming 7 days here in Spain. As you can see, the weather is quite hot. Still, it's evening time, but the sun is high in the sky. A big, giant, warm, hot ball in the sky, which is heating us up to 35, 36, and maybe even more degrees today, which we're kind of used to. And in the evening, it refreshes just a tiniest bit. It's going to be sunny these days. That is true, more or less like these previous days. But tomorrow, there might be some rain coming to north parts. And there is a possibility that by Wednesday, Thursday, there might be some cold drop, they call it here in Spain. Very short but intense cold rain coming to the area. Not 100% possibility, but it might be the case. And obviously, these days, temperatures will drop towards 30, 29 maybe if we're lucky, while it is raining. But before that and after that, 33 to 35 degrees. This is the usual typical weather and temperatures that we will see here in the area. The water temperature as well is around 28, which is ideal for swimming. Thank you for accompanying us on today's latest Benidorm news update. The sun is setting down slowly but surely, but it's still very, very intense. Take care if you're coming here on holidays. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to click a like, subscribe, and comment below to help us grow and more people to find out about our useful channel from Benidorm, Costa Blanca, and Spain. We'll see you in a new video. Bye, Dees.